वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः। एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्ताः स्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया पर्युपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यमव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवम्। सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धया ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषामव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर्वाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परा अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धरता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम्। मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय। अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि। अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्। श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानात् ध्यानं विशिष्यते ज्ञानात् कर्मफलत्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम्। अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी। सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिर्यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैर्मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः। अनपेक्षः शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः। यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् यः स मे प्रियः। समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः। तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः। ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्दधाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। उपस्थित भगवत भक्तों के रूप में मेरी अपनी ही आत्माओं। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता भगवान के मुखारबिंद से निकली हुई अमर वाणी है, और जो भी जीव श्रद्धा सहित इस अमर वाणी को धारण करता है, वो जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति करता है, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है। ये जीवात्मा चाहे जिस देश में रहे और चाहे जिस भेष में रहे, गीता सबका सब काल में समान रूप से कल्याण करने वाला एक अनुपम एवं अलौकिक ग्रंथ है।
यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत पाठो धनुधरः तत्र श्रीविजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम। यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत पाठो धनुधरः तत्र श्रीविजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम। यत्र योगेश्वर कृष्णो यत पाठो धनुधरः तत्र श्रीविजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम। Wherever there is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga and Bhagavad, the archer, assured is their prosperity, victory, glory, and sound policy. This is my conviction. Bhagavad Geeta Vishwasa Sahita Naraparta और अपराता है प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित भवसागर से तर जाता है इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो सत्य नियम भंग मत कभी करो भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है नित्य नाम हरि का लिया करो नित्य नाम हरि का लिया करो भगवद गीता विश्वास सहित नर परता और पढ़ता है प्रभु दर्शन कर परिवार सहित भवसागर से तर जाता है इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो इसलिए सदा सत्संग करो सत्य नियम भंग मत कभी करो भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर है नित्य नाम हरि का लिया करो नित्य नाम हरि का लिया करो पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 That is full, this is full. Fullness comes from fullness. Take fullness from fullness. The remainder is full. We are complete perfect and full of love. Nothing is insignificant. Nothing is smaller than anything else. The part represents the whole, just as the seed contains the whole. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev Maharaj, Jai Geeta Mataji. Happy New Year. Stay blessed for the new year and forever.
Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. On behalf of Swami Geeta Kiran ji and Guru Bhai Joshi ji, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for being with us. As well, wishing everyone a very happy new year in advance. Having said that, I'd like to hand it over to Joshi ji. Joshi ji, please take it from here. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. Want to thank all of you and pray and wish all to be very healthy and happy. We are the last Thursday of the year. We will meet next year. And I pray Gurudev and to Sri Krishna to give the entire Vishwa Sanatana Dharma peace and understanding, who can love each other like each and everyone is divine force. I have been meditating lately, and my personal view is the best state to be is to be a bhakta, as given in Bhakti Yoga of 12th chapter. And without the Gyan, it is not easy and possible to become a bhakt. And using the Gyan and using the karma, making it Yagyat karma, we can become the bhakta. And that's what Arjuna told at the end. Naso moha ismitir labdhastas prasadar mayatita. Istitosmi gasandeha karishe vachnam tava. Karishe vachnam tava. Doing what you can make someone happy to their command, assuming their command is coming from the God himself. With that and being very happy, we are ending the year with a small but a very powerful devoted group studying Bhagavad Gita, listening 12th chapter from our Gurudev Swami Harihaji Maharaj. We are blessed. With such a high spiritual feeling and understanding, I want to request our very dear Palji Sri Narendra Kapoorji to please take for next few minutes. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Shri Krishna and Jai Gurudev. Om Shri Paramatme Namaha. Geeta Shasmidham Punyam
Punyam
Ya Pate Priyatapama Vishnu Padam Vaproti Bhai Shokadi Varditaha Geeta Adhyan Shilasya Pranayam Parasya नैव सन्ति हि
santi
पापानि
papani
पूर्वजन्म
पूर्वजन्मनि
कृतानि च
कृतानि च
ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय
काय
सूर्यकोटि
सूर्यकोटि
समप्रभ
समप्रभा
निर्विघ्नं कुरु
निर्विघ्नं
मे
कुरु मे
देव
देव सर्वकार्येषु
सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ॐ मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णु
विष्णु
मङ्गलं गरुध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि
हरि
ओम शांतकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभृध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णु भवभयहरन् सर्वलोक एकैनाथन् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीय मामृतात् ओ I pay my salutation to Bhagwan Shri Krishna and our great Master Swami Hariharji Maharaj to instill on us the confidence and the integrity so that we continue to share the wisdom of Srimad Bhagavad Gita as per his command. Today, I just want to focus my entire presentation, whatever time is there, Shraddha. What is Shraddha? अभी स्वामी जी ने कहा, गुरुदेव ने, जो भगवत गीता को श्रद्धा सहित ग्रहण करता है. What is this Shraddha? We must understand this concept. What is Shraddha? In spiritual parlance, this is a challenge. We don't understand the word Shraddha. We are duped in the process of rituals. There is no Shraddha. Shraddha means the state of mind must be sattvic state of mind. Without that, there is no Shraddha. And sattvic state of mind, it is your responsibility, individual, to create that mode of mind, which becomes sattvic. When sattvic state of mind is there, the litmus test is you perceive the presence of Almighty within you, around you, behind you, in front of you. In the absence of that particular information and application, there is no Shraddha. Shraddha means God is seated in your heart. That is the Shraddha. And your body is a temple. That is the Shraddha. But the question is, do we believe that? We don't. We don't. He is doing, so I am doing. They are doing, so we are doing. That is what's going on. And there is no Shraddha. Shraddha will revolutionize you from inside out. Once we understand. अभी हमने देखा हरि करे सो करी, why you worry? This is Shraddha. But Shraddha, you have to create the competency. Who can say that? Hari kare so kari, why you worry? स्वामी हरिहर जी महाराज कहें तो ठीक है, We have to create competency to repeat these things. Otherwise, it's a blind faith. It is just a ritual. We don't uplift ourselves to that level of competency. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita provides you tools, facilitation, inspiration, motivation to go in that direction. These days, everybody, or most of the people, they are looking for shortcuts in spirituality. There's no shortcut in spirituality. It's an arduous process. योग है, आपको जुड़ना पड़ेगा. And Bhagavad Gita has these sources. And according to the dictates of Swami Hariharji Maharaj, which he has been and had been sharing with the entire humanity at his own level, in us he instilled this particular inspiration that creates Shraddha. So if my Shraddha is complete, then all around God is there. भगवान श्री कृष्ण मंदिरों में नहीं है. आपका हृदय मंदिर है, लेकिन आप मानते हो नहीं मानते. इतनी लड़ाई झगड़े, ईर्ष्या, द्वेष, कंपटीशन, और फिर हम मंदिर में जाते हैं, फिर हम कहते हैं जी मैंने गीता पढ़ ली है. भाई साहब, गीता नहीं पढ़ी आपने, आप रिचुअल में घूम रहे हो. जिधर भीड़ घूम रही है उधर आप घूम रहे हो. So we have to challenge ourselves. Shraddha means complete surrender and faith with a mode of mind, sattvic state of mind. जिसमें compassion है, selflessness है. There's no ego. If you have ego, you don't have any Shraddha. If you don't have compassion, you don't have any Shraddha. और अभी स्वामी जी ने कहा कि जो इसको श्रद्धा सहित ग्रहण करता है, तो दैट इज ए कंडीशन प्रेसिडेंट टू formulate Shraddha in your personality. Bring Shraddha, then the whole system within and around you will change. फिर कण कण में ईश्वर दिखाई देंगे. श्रद्धा की 2020 स्पिरिचुअल जब आपकी दृष्टि होती है, तब श्रद्धा होती है. Anything less than that is just a ritual, blind faith, and he is doing, I am doing. It goes on, and this is called the rat race. And Bhagavad Gita is not for the rat race. It is exclusive knowledge. It is now or never. This human form which we get it's after how many evolutions we have gone through. मनुष्य जीवन दुर्लभ है, तो दुर्लभ भाई साहब, दुर्लभ बातें भी करो. Don't talk about common things. Raise your standard of understanding and focus on each and every word that you repeat. So I am just submitting to all of us, bring Shraddha. These days, just see, I'm just giving you the example with the utmost humility. साईं राम की बड़ी पूजा हो रही है. एंड साईं राम जी का जो दो स्लोगन हैं वो है श्रद्धा एंड सबूरी. पहले तो मुझे ये नहीं समझ आती. बीइंग ए सनातन धर्म, कन्विक्शन, ये साईं राम कहाँ से आ गए? आपके इतने देवी देवता हैं, भगवान राम, भगवान श्री कृष्ण, माता रानी, हनुमान जी, इतने बड़े माता रानी, डिफरेंट फॉर्म्स एंड शेप्स. आप गिनते रहो तो गिनते रहो. इनको छोड़कर आप मंदिरों में साईं राम की मूर्ति लगी हुई है. आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट दैट, बट देयर इज नो श्रद्धा. वो खुद अपने मुंह से कहते हैं साईं राम कि राम जी ठीक करेंगे. वो तो कह रहे हैं राम जी ठीक करेंगे, हम कहते हैं साईं राम ठीक करेंगे। भाई साहब, देयर इज श्रद्धा। Go back to your roots. Have faith. And that is called Shraddha. We are just hopping around without any base, looking for shortcuts. And that is not the spiritual growth. That is not spiritual growth. So create a state of mind which is the precedent, which is the requirement to infuse Shraddha in your state of mind. Become egoless, selfless, bring compassion, empathy. Then Shraddha आएगी, ऐसे श्रद्धा नहीं आएगी. As long as you are holding ego, there is no Shraddha. It is a rat race, ritual, blind faith. With these words, because there is a constraint of time, I will stop right here. And first of all, I want to correct one thing. We should not say Happy New Year. We are a student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There is no new year. There is no old year. You are living in the present. This is called the slave mentality. There is no new year. Time is endless. There's no, it's eternal. It is a flowing river. There is no beginning, there is no end. So we should be a little careful what we say, being a serious student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. There is no new year. Every moment is a new moment. Live in that moment. And Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. And I love you all. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai
Yes, Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu Sahib. Very deep thought messages came to you, and we sincerely appreciate that. At this time, I want to again re-stress how fortunate we are. We are talking about Bhagavad Gita. We are talking about our Gurudev. And when I think about Gurudev, when I see him every day in the morning and many times during daytime, I see and feel him and his presence all the time. We are really fortunate to have Bhagavad Gita in our family, in our hand. And when time comes, I will request Dr. Prasadji, how was he brought into Bhagavad Gita mission when he was a professor in Malaysia? Very interesting story. So I will request him to talk sometimes else, but today I request you to please continue with our teaching us analytical way of Bhagavad Gita. Dr. Prasadji, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshi ji. Let me start with the prayer to Bhagwan and Gurudev. Vansi vibhushita karan navanirdabhat pitambara darunabimba phaladharostar Purnendu sundara mukhat arvinda netrat Krishnat param kimapi tattvamaham na jane Jnana Shakti Samarudha Tattvamala Vibhushitaha Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah This prayer for Gurudev is from Skand Puran, Guru Stotram, which says, Gyan Sakti Samarutha. Guru is adept with knowledge and power, Gyan or Sakti. Tat Tvamala Vibhushitaha is adorned with garland of Tattva, absolute reality. Bhukti Mukti Pradata, that means he grants both worldly prosperity as well as liberation. Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I have highlighted these words, worldly prosperity and liberation. He can give you both. If you wish to have gains of your property desires, he will give you that to satisfy your desires. But if you go to him with the aim to liberate yourself from samsara, he will guide you that way as well. Divine souls, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev to everybody. We are going through chapter 5, the Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And as I mentioned last time, in verses 13 to 17, Lord is now putting before Arjuna the path of knowledge. He's giving a hint as to what is there in the path of knowledge that he should follow. And in that process, he ultimately takes Arjuna to the highest level of knowing what he is. I mentioned last time, the goal can be considered from the three levels of understanding. The lowest level, the intermediate, and the highest level. When we talk of the lowest level, there the individual or sadhaka, those who are on the path of spirituality, also considers that this is his body and that Atma is within him. Sarvasva chaham hridi sannivisto. Sarvasva means individual, every individual. So there is understanding that I am a body, and in my heart, Hridi, in my heart, Bhagwan is established. Same is understood from verse 61 of chapter 18. Ishwarah sarvabhutanam hridayasya Arjun tisthati. Arjun, sarvabhutanam. Bhut means what? Bhut means individual. Maharaj ji कहते थे, तुम सब भूत हो. Each one, Bhut means in simple Hindi, it is Bhut, ghost. But in his own way, he used to say, Tum sab bhoot ho. Bhoot means individual, the body. So there is understanding of, please note what I'm trying to say. Even to reach this level, there has to be some movement of the path of spirituality. Those who are on the other way, they don't even think of this. To think that भगवान मेरे हृदय में है स्थापित, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है. साधारण व्यक्ति उसको ध्यान नहीं देता है, ये समझता नहीं है भगवान मेरे हृदय में है. अभी गीता किरण जी ने अभी भगवान गुरुदेव का दिया हुआ भजन बताया, भगवान तुम्हारे अंदर हैं, नित नाम हरि का लिया करो. ये भी समझ में जल्दी आती नहीं है कि मेरे हृदय में भगवान बैठे हुए हैं. तो ये जो लोअर लेवल का, ये लोअर लेवल का, ये भी लोअर लेवल मतलब उस हाईएस्ट थिंकिंग, हाईएस्ट अंडरस्टैंडिंग में 3 लेवल है, उसकी बात मैं कर रहा हूं। तो ये भी समझ में आ जाए कि हमारे हृदय में भगवान बैठे हैं, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है। ये भी नहीं होता, पर होता किसको है? जो साधक है, जो भक्ति के मार्ग पर चल पड़ा है, वो समझता है कि मैं हूं और भगवान है। ये द्वैत भाव है, दिस इज द्वैत, मैं हूं और मेरे भगवान है। ये बॉडी है, उसके अंदर आत्मा है। We also know of the 4 categories Bhagavan has described. Chaturvidha bhajante mam, arto jigyasu arthati jnani cha bhartasabha. So even those who are artha, that means they are in difficulty, they are in pain, they have some needs. Arthati, those who need money. I will not go in detail about that. This verse, we all know about the meaning of this verse. But what I'm trying to say, that Sukritano, they are, these are Sukritano. That means those are good-natured people, भले पुरुष हैं। उन लोगों में भी जो आर्त है, वो मुझे भजते हैं। बात ये है कि कम से आर्त तो है, उसको जरूरत तो है, उसको रिक्वायरमेंट है, he is in need of, he has want, he has desire, he wants to fulfill certain worldly needs, but he has faith in Bhagavan, he has Shraddha in Bhagavan, he has understanding that there is some Bhagavan who can take care of my requirements, who can take care of my needs, who can take away my pain. With that, he is a bhakta. So Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, there are 4 categories of people who भजते हैं, मुझे भजते हैं। तो भज दो भी तो। कितने लोग भजते हैं भगवान को? सब तो नहीं भजते हैं, नॉट एवरीबॉडी वर्शिप भगवान। लेकिन जो भजते हैं उसमें लोअर कैटेगरी का है, जो आर्त है, जो कष्ट है जिसको। Talking about Arthati, or talking about Artha, whose main aim, what? Why they pray to Bhagavan? Why they worship Bhagavan? Because they seek redressal of their worldly problems. Well, we know almost 80,000 bhakta visit Tirupati Tirumalai every day. Almost 100 to 150,000 devotees, they visit Kashi Vishwanath temple. Almost 50,000 people per day visit Vaishno Devi shrine. Why? Why such a vast number of people? इतने सारे लोग एक दिन में 1 लाख 1.5 लाख लोग भगवान के शरण में जाते हैं। क्यों जाते हैं? They have Shraddha, they have Bhakti, they feel that their desire will be fulfilled, and it is not that their desires are, or worldly desires are not fulfilled. ऐसी बात भी नहीं है. There are quite a good number of people, they go after their desires are fulfilled. वे जाते हैं तिरुमलाई, बाल कटाते हैं, बाल निकलवाते हैं, और श्रद्धा से भगवान के चरणों में जा करके अपना आराधना करते हैं, और बार बार जाते हैं, नॉट वन, सेवरल टाइम्स। जहां तक बूंद की बात है, वी ऑल्सो नो दैट देयर आर नॉट ओनली मानव, बट दानव को भी भगवान ने बूंद दिया हुआ है। हिरण्यकशिपु, the fellow who had been given boon that वो दिन में नहीं मरेगा, रात में नहीं मरेगा, घर के अंदर नहीं मरेगा, बाहर नहीं मरेगा, आदमी से नहीं मरेगा, एनिमल से भी नहीं मरेगा। So this type of boon was given. Bhasmasur, he was granted boon. Ravan was granted boon. So boons have been granted by by Bhagwan. In Shastra, we know about that. In Gita also, Bhagwan talks about granting this the Tanum Bhakti. That Bhakti, that is deity worship, has been mentioned by Bhagwan in Bhagavad Gita, where he says, Yo yo yam yam tanum bhakti Shraddhaya chitumirmarhasi tasya tasyam chala tasyam tameva vidadamyaham. भगवान कहते हैं कि जो व्यक्ति तनुम भक्ति, whosoever seek their worship, pray to what? Tanum bhakti. Those deities, whichever deities they worship, I establish faith in those deities to keep worshiping that, and they will get accordingly the boon or reversal from that deity accordingly. तो एक श्रेणी के लोग हैं वो जो those, that category of people who are artha or who are in distress, they pray to God, and by praying that they get whatever desire they have from them. Now, leave aside that, even our Gurudev, those who pray to Gurudev and go to him with certain problems, he guides them. He guides us. He has guided, I'm sure, each one of us today who are disciples of Gurudev would have had some sort of guidance from Gurudev to get the life span, let the progress in the life, spiritual progress in life going accordingly. So that is the one part which is the lowest level of understanding, where the person feels that he has a body and that there is Bhagavan is separate from him, away from him, or in his heart. But then there is the higher way of understanding in this path of knowledge, and that is to understand that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. What I am consciousness. But this is not easy to understand. That I am consciousness, मैं आत्मा हूं, मैं ब्रह्म हूं, ये साधारण आदमी समझ नहीं सकता है. Ordinary people, it is beyond their understanding. भगवान ने कहा 13वें अध्याय में, इदम शरीरम कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमिति विद्यते. This is body, Arjun, and the knower of body is consciousness, is that part of divinity. So that understanding of separateness between consciousness and the body comes in, and this is what is called Purusha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidya Nadi Ubhavapi. Talks about Prakriti and Purusha, and this is Sankhya philosophy. Here, the difference between this and this is that here there is understanding that I am the body which has the Atman, and here understanding is I am the consciousness which had the body. The body is part of Prakriti, body is not part of I or Brahma. It is part of Prakriti, and Prakriti is part of Purusha. It is because of Purusha, Prakriti comes in. So that understanding, the relationship between Purusha and Prakriti comes in the philosophy of Sankhya, in Sankhya philosophy. Higher level it is that everything is consciousness. There is, this body is an appearance in that consciousness. As in the dream, as in the mind, in the dream comes in, there is a dream world, a separate world, which has no real existence. That is mithya, it is called not real. that is the understanding when everything is Brahma, everything is consciousness, and in that consciousness, this body and the sansara and body, everything appears like on the screen, there is film going on. Film can come and go, but the background, the screen exams, that is substratum, which forms substratum, and on that substratum, the whole world and everything else revolves. That is the Advaita. There is no duality, non-duality. So these three levels of understanding of Jnana Marg has been explained to Arjuna. Now let us see what is the problem. Why there is a problem in understanding, as I mentioned? Well, it is not very difficult to understand. Bhagwan mere hriday mein hai, theek hai. But I am not the body, I am consciousness, is very difficult to understand, visualize. This requires lot of understanding, and I have mentioned, I have keep on repeating this because this is the crux of the thing. What is the problem? When we sit down for japa, can we keep on doing japa without the mind running away? Why does the mind run away? So the main hard problem that a seeker faces in not achieving the goal are again threefold. And those threefold problems, hurdles are impurities of mind, that is mala, unsteadiness of mind, that is vikshepa, and above all, this ignorance, ajnan. That is how the Jnana mark comes in. That is mala, vikshep, and avaran. And how to overcome them? There are three main paths, also shown by Bhagwan, that for chitta mala, you have to have chitta suddhi, and for that you need karma yoga. For chitta vikshepa, you need to have chitta ekagrata, and that can be attained through path of upasana, bhakti. Then avaran, that veiling of jnana is ajnana, and that ajnana is removed by path of the jnana yoga. So these three things I have mentioned earlier also in a different way, where I have talked about a practitioner, the practice, and the goal. This slide I have projected before, but I again put it here to understand again same thing, that we have all the problem of chitta mala. You need karma yoga for chitta suddhi. Chitta vikshepa, you need upasana or dhyan for chitta ekagrata. And avaran, you need to have this jnana yoga, sravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam, to realize tattva jnana, param santi. In so far, chapter 5 is concerned, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. These 5 verses are taken together. Let me go through the meaning of these verses today, and I will explain this in detail next week. Let me go through the meaning of it. Verse 13, I have partially gone through. In this, I have mentioned, Bhagavan says, Sarva karmani manasa sanyasyaste sukham vasi navadvare pure dehi naiva kurvanna karayan. Sarva karmani manasa sanyasya. Having renounced all activities by the mind, that means all the activities going on in the world is not allowed to reach mind. One thing. The other thing is, even if the activities reach mind, I am not disturbed, so that it doesn't disturb buddhi, and buddhi does not disturb antahkaran. So they one after another, so they stop. You do not allow activities of world to reach mind. Yada sangarate chayam kurmunga niva sarvasa. That's one way. Or if those activities have reached the mind, don't allow to disturb. So, and that he does, how? Vasi, self-control. He has full control of not allowing the mind to be disturbed by these activities. And once that happens, that karma sannyasi, Lord is talking about karma sannyasi, that karma sannyasi remains happily in the world sansara having 9 gates. And he is there, na kurvan, he is neither a doer nor he allows anything to be disturbed. So these two things, he is neither the doer nor the cause of having anything done, activity. So that is the person, he is just a sakshi, a one who is observer. He is not disturbed. He doesn't allow anything from outside to reach it and remains undisturbed as a sakshi, witness consciousness. And I have talked about witness consciousness several times before, but let me tell you, I have talked about this story of the 2 birds of Mundaka Upanishad, and I put it here to just slightly explain it. Can I go through, or am I permitted to extend by another 5 minutes? Peterji?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so I will go through this and then I will stop. Okay, so this is very interesting story kind of thing, which is deep, very deep significance in our life. We must understand this as we go and having better and better understanding of this consciousness we're talking about. We always talk about this consciousness, this Atma, Brahma, and realize, we should start to realize that body, this is body, I am not the body, this belongs to samsara, this belongs to, how we can do that? There is one way of understanding. If we can understand this story of 2 birds, Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samana vriksham parisaswajate tayoranya pippalam swadayakte asnan snanyanyanot abhichagasiti. That means Dva suparna, 2 birds. Suparna, beautiful wings. Sayuja, close. Sakhaya, companion. Samana briksham parisaswajate. At a common tree, there is one tree, they are perched on the tree, one at the higher level and other at the lower level. These 2 birds are not 2. They are one bird, that is the supreme consciousness, that is the witness consciousness of Brahma. Atma, इस शरीर में जो आत्मा है, जो भगवान, आत्मा और ब्रह्म में कोई फर्क नहीं है, आत्मा और ब्रह्म में कोई सेम, बट इट रिमेन्स विदाउट, इट इज साक्षी, यह पावर प्रोवाइड करता है एंड नथिंग एल्स. बट व्हाट हैपेंस that there is this antahkaran on which this power is reflected. When it is reflected, then this becomes energized. This becomes conscious. So it is called reflected consciousness. This reflected consciousness provides power to the mind, intellect, body, and different parts. So what happens? These 2 birds, that means one bird is the supreme, is the witness consciousness. The other bird is reflected consciousness. It is said that ये bird जो है अपना मुंह उस ऊपर वाले bird से पीठ दिखा देता है. He shows back to this bird shows its back to the higher bird and looks down. And when it looks down, it finds there are so many fruits lying here and there. Some of them are ripe, some of them are unripe. and this bird picks up one fruit. एक फल को चखा, अच्छा लगा खाने में, ओ खुश हो गया. फिर दूसरा देखा, दूसरा है, कड़ी कड़ी पक रहा है, फिर खाते हैं, उसको खाया, खट्टा लगा, ओ फेंक दिया उसको. सो ये संसार में ये वृक्ष क्या है? संसार है. दिस ट्री इज वर्ल्ड, जगत. In that, on that tree, that so-called two powers. One is the higher bird, that is the witness consciousness, and the lower bird is the reflected consciousness. This bird, instead of being here and not involving the world, it gets involved. Mame vangso jivuloke jivabhuta sanatana. This jivabhut ke saath ye iska established relation kar leta hai. Once that relation is established, then it suffers the consequences. Wahan par, when it is tasty fruit, enjoys. If it is bitter fruit, throws it away. But ultimately gets tired of that and then turns the face on towards Brahma and becomes जीवात्मा का परमात्मा से मिलन हो जाता है. जीव ईश्वर जीवत्व को छोड़कर ईश्वरत्व की प्राप्ति हो जाती है. Then he realizes that everything is Brahma. They are not two, that only one Brahma. There is the Paramatma, the witness consciousness, the साक्षी भाव जो हमारे शरीर में है, वो ब्रह्म है. ये जो दूसरा है, ये ब्रह्म नहीं है. That is borrowed power. That power is not constant power. If you have a magnet and there are iron foils, the iron foils get magnetized because of this magnet. But it feels, मैं मैग्नेटाइज हो गया हूं, मैं पावर मेरा है. अरे नहीं, the moment this power will cease, you will fall down. तुम्हारा सर्वनाश हो जाएगा. That is this understanding of the story of two birds. We should try to realize that we are all consciousness, and this body is a part of sansara, which is destructible, which is not Brahma, which is not a jagata, part of chara part, and Brahma is akshar part. I will explain this again next week. Continue with that. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasadji. Beautifully explained. Much appreciated. Apologies on behalf of Joshiji. He had a prior commitment, so he had to leave. He just left about 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. And he's asked me to request Guru Bhai Vivek Kamranji to take a minute or two, and then we can conclude. Vivekji, over to you. Unmute kijiye. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Very pleasure listening to you, Dr. Prasad. Profound. Kapoor Saab, profound. Thank you so much, Kiranji. So beautifully hearing you out. You know, chapter 5 is what Dr. Prasad has been sharing about. And, you know, kahin pe ek dafa Guruji se kisi ne pucha tha, who is responsible for our actions, right? And, you know, we sometimes say, Bhagwan ne sab kara diya hai, which is really not true. You are responsible for yourself. There is no ifs and buts about it. So today, you know, it's a very special week this week. And let me share something with you. I hope I can. This week was Kunal's birthday. So we missed him very much. And I want to share some things that Kunalji had shared. Ek humne, Dr. Prasad, I don't know if you remember, ek humne Geeta ki booklet banayi thi. And in that booklet, everybody submitted a chapter of theirs. Geeta Mala usko kehte the. Peter ji, you remember you had
Yes.
The chapters, I know it was 13 or 14, whichever one. And Kapoor Sahib, you did too. So मैं उसमें से तो कुछ बताऊंगा उनके बारे में. We missed him very much this week. And I will share some of his own writings, which will bring out him. But before I do that, pranams to Gurudev, right? तो एक दिन उन्होंने ये शिकागो में जो recordings थी इसकी summary है, so I will share that very quickly with you. You know how Gurudev was very funny in what he said, Dr. Prasad, all the time, and there was
Yeah.
something behind that, right? Always, kuch na kuch, kuch na kuch, he had a way to get us going. तो उन्होंने कपूर साहब कहा था, देखो भैया साधु बन जाओ, थोड़ा सत्संग में कम किया करो, right? This is excerpts from the Chicago में जो visitations थी, या तुम ज्ञानी बन जाओ, हाँ, so या ज्ञानी बन जाओ, कुछ सीख लोगे, अगर वो भी नहीं कर सकते तो त्यागी बन जाओ, हाँ, नहीं तो भक्ति आ जाओ उनके पास में, और सत्संग की चाबी जो है वो भक्ति में है, वो कहते थे. So I have a means of capturing some of the things that he said. And अगर नहीं तो ध्यानी बन जाओ, कुछ ध्यान करना है तो वो भी कर लो आप, वो भगवान से मिला देंगे. And the funny thing he said was, this is, we forget about this all the time. एक दिन तो ऊपर जाना ही पड़ेगा, right? तो भैया अपना आइडेंटिटी कार्ड दिखा देना, हाँ, क्या है उसमें? What have you done in this life? What are you leaving us with? What are you doing? So he always used to make us think, if you remember, right? And this is one of those things. And for ये भी कहते थे कि भैया तुमको कोई एनिमी नहीं चाहिए जब तुम यहाँ पे हो, बहुत एनिमीज वैसे ही हैं, अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूता नाम करते जाना, और 12वां चैप्टर जब सोने से पहले कर देना. You remember that. Now I'm taking you to Kunal ji. So in his booklet, ये जो गीता माला है, उसके अंदर, I think Kunal met Lord Krishna. There is no doubt in my mind. Anybody who can write so well on chapter 11, right from his heart, would have definitely met him, in my opinion. तो उन्होंने ये लिखा था कि देखो भैया, चैप्टर जो 9 है, चैप्टर 9 में भगवान ने हमको बताया था how to control our mind, right? Prasad Sahib, you know that, right? Chapter 9 is all about control your mind and control your desires. Then chapter 10 में उन्होंने बताया था कि जो 75 qualities of the Lord है, वो उन्होंने chapter 10 में शेयर की हुई थी. So जो chapter 11 है भैया, ये किसके बारे में है? What is this about? So chapter 10 में, if you say 75 qualities of the Lord, what is chapter 11 about then? So chapter 11 in Kunal's opinion was the show and tell chapter, जहाँ पे भगवान आते हैं and कहते हैं, देखो भैया, there are 3 ways to reach me, right? 3 manifestations of the Lord. You can see me in the human form, which we know that Arjuna said, oh my goodness, thank you for sharing me that with me. Chaturbhuj form, where, my goodness, what is this, right? And then bottom line is, and then the Virat Roop, which is so beautiful. There is no doubt about this. ये chapter जो है, ये हमारे, मैं भी जब भी कभी पढ़ता हूँ, it just sends a deep vibration within us. Who are we? What are we doing? And we are part of his lordship all the time. And I truly believe when I go through his booklet on this, I said, what a person who could have written this chapter 11 and then merged into Bhagwan himself. There is no doubt about my mind, ये कोई संत महात्मा थे, ये कोई इंजीनियर वगैरह नहीं थे, ये अपना काम करके जा रहे थे. मुझे यहाँ पे एक स्वामी हरि आए थे, वो हमारे स्वामी हरि को भी जानते थे, प्रसाद सिंह. तो मैंने उनको एक दफ़ा पूछा था, मैंने कहा ये बहुत, this is not a good thing. People who work for the Lord, you take them away. तो उन्होंने कहा भैया बेटा ऐसा कुछ नहीं है ये. And he met him in the ICU, to Kunal. I'm just sharing this with you. And he said, and Kunal got up from his bed in the ICU and then कहा भैया इनको चेक लिख के दो, चेक लिख के दिया. The bottom line is, so I said, this is not a good setting. इतने लोग जो काम करते हैं भगवान के लिए, ये क्या है, ये कौन सा भगवान है जो ऐसे काम करा रहा है? तो इसे बेटा ऐसी बात नहीं है, तुमने गीता तो पढ़ी होगी. तो उसमें सबसे ज्यादा तीर किसको लगे थे? सबसे ज्यादा तीर भगवान मैंने कहा भीष्म पितामह को, तो कहते हैं कि ये जो हमारा आना जाना है ये लगा रहेगा, तो इनको आप जाने दो आराम से, एंड बिकॉज ही लिव्ड अ फुल लाइफ एंड दैट वाज हिम, यू नो, कि व्हाट भी जो हमारे पिछले कर्म हैं वो भी कुछ ऐसे ही होते होंगे, राइट? सो आई वांटेड टू शेयर दिस विद यू, एंड definitely this, and this chapter, this is again in our Gita calendar, so those of you who get this calendar, you'll see this, and it has the late Kunal Kamran in here. But let me share this quickly. So he had covered, and there's a booklet coming out on him too, Path of Self-Realization, and this was chapter 12. So he used to say, he's an engineer, right? Mera center of gravity jo hai, wo chapter 12 mein hai. He would say that. And the key to divinity, the 39 qualities, and then he had a flow chart. You cannot do this, you do this. It's a very easy guide. So how can you attain me? And all those verses from 12 to 18, all those qualities, zero expectation, how to get a hold of me, right? All of that, this was one of his summaries. And then I will leave this with you. This is really profound. देखो, जाने के लिए टाइम सबका आ जाएगा. Okay? Question is this: have you changed? Have I changed? We meet at the ashram, we do a lot of stuff, whatever we do. This is his handwriting, as you can see, right? इसमें लिखा हुआ है, the spirit is the real me, not myself. As a spirit, I know this is my persona. I look in the mirror and I see the persona from 10 years ago. So from 10 years ago, have I changed? Have you changed? Are we improving ourselves? So it's quite the, and the last thing that he wrote in here was on self-realization. I look in the mirror and see the changes that I've made. When we realize that self-realization is the best of the best, the zest of the zest, the feast of the fest, and the ultimate among the rest. Those were profound thoughts. I thought I would share that with you. I hope I didn't take too much time. And then the calendar is here, so we'll send that out to do. So very nice. This is probably one of the best calendars Geeta Ashram Minnesota has put together. And so please let us know. We'll send it out to you. And what else was there? Just a second. We did some major improvements last week. Some families had donated about $20,000, and all the windows have been upgraded at the ashram. So with that, I think the only other thing is this. Yes, Peter ji, ye Hanuman Chalisa hai. This is going to be on the 6th, and it will be on Zoom. So the main portion jo hota hai was between 3 and 5 p.m. hoga. So please join us on that. So I'm sorry I've taken too much of your time, but I thought I had to talk about Kunal, and remembered him very much this week. So I will stop sharing right now. So thank you so much for the time, Peter ji, Kapoor Sahab, and Prasad ji, and
thank you
Geeta Karan.
thank you
so much.
thank you so much. Such a
Thank you very
beautiful,
much.
such a divine human being. My goodness, I had deep respect for him, deep respect for him, Kunalji. May he.
Can I say a few words?
Sure.
Talking about Kunalji, I used to, in connection with my collaborative research with Mayo Clinic, I used to visit, I have visited several times Mayo Clinic in that regard. Kunal came to know about my visit. He came to fetch me from Mayo Clinic, took me by car to his place, stayed with him for a couple of nights, and then we visited the temple. It was under construction at that time. And it was fantastic. He was a great soul. He was Mahan Atma.
Yeah.
मैं कह नहीं सकता हूँ कितना उनके लिए respect है. And I was great. So nice person.
We really miss him even now. Amazing.
Oh, he was a gem of a person.
Kapoorji, you've raised your hand, Kapoorji.
Yeah, Peter, I would take 2 minutes to share my profound feeling about my dearest friend Kunalji. I don't know, we were intertwined. Either he was the body and I was the shadow. We were so close, we talked everything. And when he left his mortal frame, I and Joshi went to Minneapolis, and he was lying on a floor in the bedroom. And looking at him, I cried and cried like a baby. And that was my very profound separation. I never thought that I will cry, but I could not resist my inner feelings. So I have very, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. On that very, very deep note, without discussing anything further, so let this stay in our memory. Swami Geeta Kiranji, you can speak and end the program when you're ready. Go ahead.
This brought back my memory when I visited Minnesota. I stay most of the time in Gunarji's house with his beloved families and spend some times in Gita Ashram by myself in one period. And I also visited Vivekji's house for some dinner or lunch. And that was a very precious memory. And especially Gunarji, I can declare here, he always in my heart. Deep, deep, special memory. And no word can explain that or describe that. So he gave us such a love and example for our divine dedication to come for this Gita mission. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. Let's end by reciting Vasudeva Sutam Devam for dearest Kuralji. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. See you next Thursday. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Kiranji, thank you so much.